I I want to talk and reflect a little bit on my first year of grad school. I finished in June, and June 10th was the last day, and now it's July 17 or 18. I go to UC Irvine, and I'm in their MFA acting program. And this first year was a lot of fun. It was also hard. This first year has been the main catalyst for this shift that's happening in my life. And part of the reason why I want to talk more about what I'm feeling, because this year I realized that it was one of the first times where my teacher or director would ask, how did that feel? What are you going through right now? Stuff like that. And no one had ever asked me that before in the setting of an acting class. It was mostly like stakes, or what is your objective, what do you want, and all about like character, and oftentimes I felt like I was generating these answers, like, oh well, my character wants this because of in the scene she's in love with this guy, and I was thinking a lot about things that were kind of outside of myself. And so this year I was forced to turn my focus inward and assess how I'm feeling, next to this other person who is making me feel things. I realized in the first quarter of this acting class, our very first acting class together, that I have a pretty strong guard up, initially with people. I used to think I was this really free and open person who is easygoing and lets others in, and I'm not. At least I'm not as open as I thought I was. And that's really obviously affected my acting. I think I'm getting a little better at letting go and releasing. But that was a huge realization, was that. And having that guard up prevents me from letting things affect me and really, being alive in the scene. Another thing that I learned is when things get really intense and serious, I freeze up and I get really rigid. Kind of like I am bracing myself, protecting myself from feeling things, which is helpful in the real world. It keeps me safe. It keeps me from feeling pain. But in the line of work that I'm interested in, it's a serious block. That guard that I have up transfers to the physical as well. I've never been a really touchy person. Even my mom, she would... I think it was mostly during puberty. She would try and show affection and love on me. I mean, she's intense. And I love her. But I was very uncomfortable, like, when she would, like, be all over me. And it's like that with other people, too. Not just her. Unless I'm in a serious, intimate relationship with someone, I don't really touch or hug. Like, I'll hug my friends of like years and years and years. But like when I first meet you, I'm not going to go in for the hug. But if you initiate it, I'll hug you. But that's not it's not my go-to. So that transfers to my acting as well. I've learned a lot this year. I've learned that the real work, because I've always felt like I wasn't doing enough. You know, after I presented a scene in class, I would think, I could have, you know, did I not flesh out this character enough? I didn't let go enough. I was too in my head, you know. There are all these little things that I could have done better. And I was really obsessed with doing the work. I need to do the work so that I can get the result. And what I'm realizing now is the work is practicing full body, mind, soul presence and attentiveness. And that's so hard. That is so hard, because when these circumstances are brutal and you have to feel the pain and the agony and the roller coaster of swells of happiness and lows of hardship, you have to go through that whole journey, and you have to live in it and be and sit with it and not try and manipulate it. And so the work, I think, is practicing letting go of control over the situation. You know, doing your work, being memorized, you know, knowing who your character is, you know, breath work, body work, all that stuff. And then when it comes time to be in the scene with someone, let go of the work, trust that you've done the work, and then truly be with someone 100%. One person or others, you know, whoever's in the scene. I'm sure I'm making some sense, but like sometimes I just feel like it's so abstract when you talk about acting. I read somewhere talking about acting is like thinking about swimming. And that's that just rings so true, because, you know, acting is just living within the confines of this imaginary world, but you have to prepare so much to just live while others are watching you and analyzing you. And I've been reading Actor in the Target, and it just really simplifies everything. You know, you don't have to create, you don't have to do, I feel like I was doing a lot of unnecessary work before this past year. You know, a lot of overthinking and overanalyzing, which I don't blame myself for doing that. You know, I want to be good. I want to, but I was definitely at times like suffocating this character instead of nestling into it. So yeah, you don't have to create anything, you just have to discover it. And that's from Actor in the Target. I didn't just make that up. and just see what the character sees. And I think that's something that I've been working on, wrestling with, trying to achieve, is being a character without judging that character. You know? Instead of thinking, is this what my character should be doing? Is this what she wants? You know? Instead of asking what I want, I need to ask myself, what do I see? You know, what is this world that this person sees? And through that lens, I will find what I want. And I will run up against things that prevent me from getting what I want. Oh, this is such a complicated profession, but I wouldn't want to do anything else. It has helped me figure out, I'm still trying to figure out what the heck life is. It's simple. This is it. But it has really helped me figure out who I am. And that's another big thing that I've learned this year is I can't go through this journey without figuring out who I am before I can play other people. You know, what makes me upset? What makes me sad? What makes me happy? What do I want? You know, because that's not so different from the characters that I'm playing. You know, they're still people, just like me. Yeah, it's been an intense year. I've learned a lot. It's crazy because I still get so giddy and nervous and excited as the first day of acting school in junior high. Oh shoot, there's something about performing and being in theater and auditioning and, you know, going up and showing a scene in class. Just it makes all of my cells vibrate. That was a stupid fucking makes my cells vibrate. That's all the sense that I can make right now. Try to make. But I'm excited for next year. I really am. What I've been working on is confidence. Having confidence in myself and the choices that I make, and not asking permission to make those choices.